Hey guys, so we're going to go ahead and complete the capstone challenge. Go ahead and SSH into the machine. So you'd have to start machine, and then once you see the IP, SSH, and then you'll see the username and password have changed. So don't be like me and put in the wrong password, wonder why you're not getting in. So anyhow, prior to this, I just wanted to mention this. I was actually working on my Python course, so if you haven't, check it out. It's pretty cool. If you're trying to go for like an OSCP like I am, then you're gonna have to know a little bit of Python, right? So it's worth checking out my course. It's very beginner level friendly. I show you how to do everything from, setting up Sublime text editor to coding in basic Python. All right, that out of the way, let me go ahead and minimize that. All right, so you can see here I SSH into the machine, and then now that I'm in, I did an ls, so it looks like we're starting off with this directory here. What we want to do is, according to the directions, we want to see flag 1, okay, and then get flag 2. All right, so what we're going to do is, going off of what we've learned, we're going to go ahead and see which programs have the SUID and the permission set to 04000, right? And so what we're going to do is we're just going to input the following command, and I've already input it, but I'm just going to input it again so you can see it. What's going on here? Cancel. All right, I'm going to paste this in, and it's going to find the ones with the SUID set, and then it's going to put it out to our screen. So I'll put this in the comment section below. I can't put it in the description because YouTube won't let me. So I'm going to press enter here, give it a second. And you can see at the very top, it says that root is able to run with user bin base 64. Okay, so then with that knowledge, what we're going to do, and of course, I'm pretty sure you've tried enumerating on your own. Yeah, this is the only one I've found for vertical, vertical escalation of privileges. So let's go ahead and look at GTFOBins and see if we could find anything for base 64. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull up my browser here. All right. So I'm going to put the link in, GTFOBins, press enter. Here we are. Let's type in base 64. Just put it in 64. You can see base 64 here. Click there, and then you can see we can run this to read a file, and that looks good. So let's try running this one, and let's see where we get with that. So I'm going to pause it so I can bring mine up 1 sec. Ooh, I'm sorry. I pointed you in the right direction, there. All right, so let's go ahead and input the following. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up a notepad, and I'm going to type out the code here first so I can put in the comment section. L file equals /home, and we have to find out where flag 2 is. So let's do this. Let's do find flag. So we can't find that. All right, so let's find out what directory we're in. All right, let's do ls. Nope, there's nothing. I already done that. Let's go back one. Let's do ls. You can see there's a root flag there, so that's flag 2. So obviously we don't have root yet, so let's check that Missy folder. So we'll go ahead and send that. Oh, right, permission denied. Okay, so permission denied. Um, hmm. So now we're gonna have to figure out where flag 2 is. Huh, interesting. Okay. All right, so we know that we can utilize this base 64 to take a look into other files and file locations. Um, so let's just start with that, right? We can't look in the MISI directory, although we're pretty sure that if there's a flag, it's probably in there, considering that when I did a find just now, uh, one sec. Oh my gosh. All right, there we go. When I did a find just now, as you see here, you can see, yeah, it'll show me all the directories I actually can see. And of course, they're my own. And then you see Missy's, that's permission denied, and then root flag permission denied. So pretty good, pretty good idea that they're in there, considering that I get permission denied. So let's go ahead and type out our exploit for that. It's base 64. So I got my notes here. Just gonna type this out real quick. Slash Missy. Let's take a look in her directory. We'll take a look there. Or what we can do as well is we can just take a look in the shadow, the Etsy shadow, because as we remember from our last video, was we're able to see password hashes in the shadow file. So we'll check that out. All right, so that's the shadow. Let's use user slash bin slash base 64. File. I don't know why I'm typing this. I can literally just copy and paste it. I hate typing. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy this portion right here. There we go. And let me just delete this part. All right, there we go. So if I looked at this, you have the AL file, the file you want to read, right? And we want to read the Etsy shadow, base 64. So we actually have to specify the path for base 64. And we know the path when we're looking up here and enumerating which files will run with the which executables will run with the SUID set, and we were able to determine that base 64 is in this location, users bin slash base 64, right? So we're gonna go ahead and specify that here. So when it runs that command, it knows it's running from the users bin base 64. All right. And if you didn't know, the bin folder, if you were to look in the bin folder, it has all the commands that you can run with for Linux. All right, and it's got the executable for those commands in there. So when you actually queue ls or cd, it's actually coming from that folder. So we're just specifying that, hey, we're using the base 64 for this, and then it's gonna actually open up the Etsy shadows. It's got the SUID set, and then we're gonna be able to see that file. So let's go ahead and copy this over. All right, actually, we'll copy it line by line. So let me put this over here. Let me go make my screen a little smaller. There we go. This a little larger. All right, scroll down a little bit. Put in the following. Put in this. All right, great. So now I'm able to see the shadow file. All right, so this is great. We now have the password hashes for everybody, including root. By the way, it won't root. It won't work. Um, you won't be able to crack root's hash for some reason. I tried doing that. Maybe it'll work for you. You know, maybe you got a better GPU than I do, but it didn't work for me. So, you know we need Missy's, so we can look into her folder because as we know, there's permissions denied. There's got to be something good in there. So let me go ahead and copy this. And as you remember earlier, we used John to crack hashes. And so we're just going to do that again, basically. So I'm going to go over here. I did this yesterday, so there's actually a hash file here. Crack this hash, man. No, it's, we'll just make a new one here. Just create a new document, new file. Crack shadow hash now. Okay, I just name whatever. You guys can name whatever you want, but you just have to remember that name. We're putting the commands later. All right, so let me just give that a visual look over. All right, looks good. Create it. I'm gonna open it. I'm gonna paste it in my code here. Not the code, but the shadow file contents. It's got the Missy hash right there. We're gonna save it. We're gonna minimize it. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna right click, open terminal here. Okay, and then we're gonna type in the following command. So it's gonna be sudo John word list. There you go. Slash user, and then we're using RockU. I'm not using my shadow.txt file. I'm using the one I just created, which is correct this hash now. Ah, here it is. I was looking straight at it. All right. So I did my tab, so it auto-populated the rest of that. Yep, that looks good. I'm gonna press enter now. It's gonna ask for my password. I'm gonna pause this one sec. All right, it's iterating through that entire file, trying to crack each one of those. It's gonna take a second. Once we get the Missy hash cracked, we're gonna change users, look in the Missy file, and who knows, maybe there might be a flag in there. I already done this. So yeah, there's a flag in there. All right, so let's just give this a sec. By the way, it's gonna take a minute, you know. So just trying to kill some time here. So after this, we're gonna be doing the Windows privilege escalation. That should be really fun. Can't wait. See if it's crashing. No, it's still going. I guess it would be a good time to enumerate. I know I did my enumeration yesterday when I finished this, but you know, just try not to leave any stone unturned. We'll just go through here and try to enumerate. By the way, if you tried to run a kernel exploit, it's not going to work. I tried it. If it works for you, please put it down in the comment section what you did to make it work, because it did not work for me. I don't even want to go through trying to do that because, like I said, it didn't work for me. So go ahead and just do this. So if I do the uname -a, gives you the kernel information, right? The version. And then if you go to let me look at my old commands here. Let's type env. So if you do that, it'll give you the operating system, which in this case is Ubuntu, I believe, yesterday's. All right, let's take a look at that password cracking. No, it's still going. All right. But yeah, if you were to look up Ubuntu or SE Linux. If you look up exploits for the kernel version, where is the kernel version here? Maybe it's SE Linux. How did a second ago? Oh, here it is. 3.10.0-16-1160. You'll find something over on exploit database, but you won't be able to run it. Tried it yesterday. So, by the way, we will be exploiting and running root. I'll show you how to do that. I've noticed other videos where they keep using the base64 GTFOBins command that we just ran to exploit it and see the last flag. We're not going to do that. We are going to get root, and we are going to be able to see that last flag as root. So move this over. And this is still going. So this is taking a good minute. I'm going to pause this. We'll come back. All right, guys, mine's still running. It's taking a good minute. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you what the output looked like, and then just we'll move forward off of that. So it cracked Missy's hash. You can see it shows password 1, and then it says Missy. So, now that I know, okay, that's her password. Let's go ahead and move forward. All right, so if we go back to our computer here, and then I scroll down, I'm gonna go ahead and switch users, Missy. It's gonna ask for the password. I'm gonna input it. By the way, the password is password with the uppercase P1. So, all right, we're in. And I'm gonna do ls. I'm going to cd into Missy's directory here, ls, and cd into the desktop, ls, and okay, it's not there. So we're gonna cd back. What we can do is we can type find, and we can see it's in the documents folder. So we'll go ahead and cd to the documents folder. Hold on. Where am I at right now? Am I still on the desktop? No, okay. Okay. Documents. cat flag1.text because we see it here, so we know it's there. And then that's your first flag, so you could just copy that. There it is. Pause it if you need to, I don't know. And you're just going to input that for the first flag here. All right, so next we need the second flag, which will require root access. And you've been using the command for this the whole time. And they actually did teach you about this earlier. So what we're going to do is we are going to check which commands Missy can run with the SUID. So give me 1 sec. So I'm going to try running the command we ran in the beginning. Actually, no, we'll try another command. So we'll try sudo -l. Sudo -l, what it does is it allows you to see which commands you can run with sudo, and it will specify whether or not you actually need a password to run it. All right, so here, just looking at this sudo -l, I believe they brought this up earlier, but you can see here we can run the user bins find. And as we know, the user bin is just a folder with all the commands that we can execute on Linux. Find is one of them. So it's saying here that we can run user bin find commands with sudo, by the way, without any password. So that just leaves it out in the open. Let's try it. So we'll try doing this. Before we try this, let's go ahead and go over to GTFOBins. It's always good for us in the real world to cross-reference it, right? So let's type in find here. We see find. We know that we can, my browser is like, there we go. So we know we can run sudo with find. So it says sudo here. If binary is allowed to run a super user by sudo, it does not drop the related privileges and may be used to access the file system, escalate, or maintain privilege access. So sudo find and then executable, it's running the bin bash, which is going to create a shell, and it's going to quit find, and we're going to have a shell. So let's try it to see if it works. Boom, we're in, we got a shell. So what do we do next? Well, we see where we're at, right? We are missing home directory still. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a find. No, maybe that's not a good idea because that's going to bring up a lot of stuff. So let's just go to the directory we couldn't gain access to earlier, right? Heck, I don't think Missy had access to that. That was the, let's see it listed here, but it was like flag something file. So let's go ahead and cd backpack ls. All right, so now we're in the home directory. Cd root flag. It looks like a directory, and it is a directory. S-L. All right, so we know this is a file because if it was a directory, it would have a D right here for directory, and it just has a dash. So this is a file, and this is flag2. So we're gonna cat flag2.text. There it is. And by the way, if maybe you're trying to figure this out on your own and you had to watch this video to actually get through it, I was at work, and if you don't know, I'm a cybersecurity analyst. So there I am, my computer, doing analyst stuff, cybersecurity analyst stuff, and then I was listening to a YouTube video, and this guy was talking about his experience with OSCP. He talked about how he enumerated Linux and Windows machines. And as he was talking about it, he mentioned make sure you check to see if you crack a password, for instance, you crack a hash. then what you should do is use that same password for other files, right? For other users, right? And another thing he mentioned was to check to see if any programs can be run with sudo -l enabled. You know, that's an easy shell. And I was thinking about that. And so yesterday when I was struggling, and I was on the struggle bus trying to figure this out, I thought about that. I'm like, well, let me check sudo -l, and there I've seen it. He says if it shows no password, you can run it. You can run it as sudo without any password. I was like, wow, that's awesome. So that's how we found it. You know, you just kind of stumble upon this stuff. So I'd highly recommend moving forward to watch videos that, you know, someone will teach you the methodology of how you enumerate in-depth Linux and in-depth Windows machines. So next we're moving on to Windows. So just have that playing in the background if you're doing something, you know, that's kind of like tedious, repetitive, you know. If you're a doctor, don't do it while you're operating on somebody, but just, you know what I'm saying? Like just do it when you're not doing something really important. Just have it running in the background, and who knows, it might help you with CTF or something. So hey, hope you like and subscribe. I think this is like the only video I can find on the internet where somebody actually was able to gain root for this challenge. So I appreciate you watching this. Please like and subscribe. Like I mentioned, that just motivates me to create more videos. And next we're gonna move on to Windows. So we're done with Linux. Oof, got that out of the way. And then after this, what's next? I'm thinking maybe let me go to my dash here. I'll go here. I'm thinking maybe the offensive pen testing, you know, to really, you know, just go straight for that OSCP, right? So I hope you're with me along the way. All right, till next time.